delicious? Not even a little bit.
Get going.
Now. Okay.
You too.
But there's too many of them.
Not for me.
Hurry.
Even in a cast as packed full of characters like that of Final Fantasy VII, Tifa Lockhart is the one character in particular that has really endeared herself to the fanbase, perhaps more so than most, if not all, other characters in the game and its many spin-offs. In 2020's Final Fantasy VII Remake, Tifa was, once again, one of the stars of the show, and is of course set to play a crucial role in its upcoming sequel. Ahead of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth's launch, then, here, we're going to turn our attention squarely to Tifa, speak about her setting in Final Fantasy VII Remake, and then spend some time talking about what the upcoming Rebirth has in store for her and her personal arc. Tifa is, of course, the one character in all of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and the games it follows on from, that has a long history with protagonist Cloud Strife, going back to the very childhood. Tifa and Cloud were both born and raised in the village of Nibelheim, and even when they were children, they had a close friendship. After a certain point, when Cloud left the village behind in hopes of joining Shinra's forces and becoming a soldier, the two of them lost touch and wouldn't be reunited until several years later. That is where Final Fantasy VII Remake picks up, shortly after Cloud's arrival in Midgar, having left his soldier life behind to become a mercenary for hire. And as luck would have it, one of the first jobs he gets in the so-called city of Mako, or the first of any real consequence at any rate, is through Tifa herself, who gets Barret, the leader of her Avalanche cell, to recruit him in aiding their bombing run of the Sector 1 reactor. Though Barret himself is unsure of Cloud and his allegiances as a sword for hire, Tifa vouches for him, and sure enough, Cloud proves to be a crucial asset during the mission, which ends with the complete destruction of the reactor, though only through Shinra's own meddling, something the party remains unaware of for some time to come. After the reactor's bombing, Tifa helps Cloud acclimate to his new surroundings in Midgar's Sector 7 slums, not only finding him a place to live, but also helping him pick up new jobs and make a name for himself with the locals. While this is going on, Barret also begins gearing up for another bombing run, with the Sector 5 reactor being his target this time. Though this time he doesn't want Cloud with them. Tifa meanwhile harbors some doubts over Avalanche's continued widespread destruction, even knowing that that's the only, or at least the best way to fight against Shinra. Ultimately, after an attack on the Sector 7 slums from ghostly entities known as the Whispers, leaves Jessie and Wedge unable to go on the next mission.
How's your ammo?
Running low! Jessie!
Damn it!
Jessie because she's injured, and Wedge because he has to stay behind and care for her, and for Barrett's daughter Marlene. Cloud and Tifa end up filling in, and once again the two of them and Barret head off to destroy another Mako reactor. This mission, however, doesn't go to plan. Shinra springs a trap that the party fails to see coming, revealing that not only has it been aware of Avalanche's plans all along, but that it also intends to blow up the reactor itself to paint Avalanche as a public enemy, and strengthen its claims that the group has been hired by the rival nation of Wutai to spark another war. A Shinra war machine known as the Airbuster is let loose on the party, and even though they are able to defeat it, they end up getting separated, with Cloud falling through the plate all the way down into the Sector 5 Undercity. Up above, as the reactor self-destructs, Tifa and Barret escape and return to the Sector 7 slums. From here, Tifa heads off on her own, leaving for Wall Market in Sector 6, where she intends to question the criminal known as Don Corneo about Shinra's plans for Avalanche, and with the help of Cloud, who crosses paths with her again after finding his way to Sector 6, and Aerith, who helps Cloud get there, her plans mostly goes to, well, plan. Tifa, Cloud, and Aerith eventually find themselves face to face with Don Corneo, and, upon interrogation, he relents and reveals to them that Shinra intends to drop the Sector 7 plate on the slums below, killing thousands, and then publicly pin the blame for this incident on Avalanche. After an eventful journey back, Tifa, Cloud, and Aerith reach the Sector 7 slums, only to find them already under attack by Shinra's forces. The losses are definitely catastrophic. Jessie and Biggs die, Wedge is gravely injured, and Aerith is captured by Shinra. On top of that, Shinra also succeeds in dropping the plate, destroying the slums below and killing thousands. Tifa, Cloud, and Barret are able to escape, however, while they also find and bring back an injured Wedge after briefly returning to the ruins of the slums. Final Fantasy VII Remake's final leg sees the trio infiltrating Shinra's HQ in order to rescue Aerith. The game's climax is a long and eventful one, involving everything from revelations about what Shinra wants with Aerith to what role Sephiroth is playing in the setting, while the party also breaks Red 13 out of captivity, after which he promptly joins their ranks. Oh, and speaking of Sephiroth, if not for the intervention of the Whispers, he would have succeeded in killing Barret as well. At the end of it all, the party flees from Shinra HQ and from Midgar as a whole, before engaging Sephiroth and the Whispers in a final climactic duel, which ends with Sephiroth's escape and the destruction of the Whispers. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is going to pick up exactly where Remake left off, and of course, we have a pretty good theory on what to expect from Tifa in the Remake trilogy's middle chapter. Thanks to Rebirth's demo, we know that the Nibelheim flashback sequence is going to be where the game will begin, which means Tifa is going to be a crucial cog in the setting right off the bat. Because not only does she have a prominent role in that first chapter, it also reveals key details about her tragic past, while also further deepening our understanding of her shared history with Cloud. Speaking of which, Tifa is also likely going to play an important role as the person who grows increasingly wary of Cloud's version of past events, and how inconsistent they tend to be with what actually happened. We're not going to go into too much detail on that front, but it's suffice to say that Tifa's role as a counterpoint to Cloud's own role as an unreliable narrator is likely going to be an important element of Rebirth's larger narrative. Of course, with the Whispers now dead, though maybe not permanently, seeing as they're confirmed to be returning in Rebirth, whether or not Tifa's setting is going to go exactly as we expect, well, that remains unknown. Actually, scratch that, it doesn't remain unknown because it's almost guaranteed that Rebirth's setting is going to deviate in some significant ways. How that will impact Tifa's own arc remains to be seen. For instance, could she perhaps take the place of another character who meets a heartbreaking end at a point that will serve as Rebirth's conclusion? We're trying to be as vague as possible here, but if that's the rug pull that the game has in store for us, it's certainly going to be an ambitious and undoubtedly controversial one. Thankfully, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is not far away from launch now, with its release set for February 29th. So we're going to have the answers to our questions soon. Well, some of them at any rate. And with that, we reach the end of this video. Have anything to say? Let us know in the comments below. Also, we upload new videos every single day on Gaming Bolt, so please consider subscribing as it really helps us out. Thanks for watching.